Welcome back everyone, Zaf here, and for today's video we have, what's going on here? This is the craziest skin I've seen the virus is in full force here. We're definitely gonna get this hunter to 810. I don't care how good they are, I don't care how bad whoa. She just shot a bullet straight through my heart. I don't know what's going on, but I'm feeling a certain way from seeing all that. But anyways, in today's video, we're gonna cover the Korean stream. There is a lot of changes here I do want to highlight. The first being a bunch of codes they released on this stream, so I hope the English stream is just as good because they got a bunch of free codes. So if you want them, go to our previous video, I have all of them highlighted there. And also, speaking of codes, Netmarble is doing an English stream on Yuso Hyun coming up in a few hours. I am planning on streaming that Streamception, so make sure you go down to the link below, press that like button, and hit that notify me bell. That way you know when we go live and we stream their stream, because there will be new codes released, so you really don't want to miss out. But just jumping into the content, let's go to this one right here, the Workshop of Brilliant Light. So the workshop is actually getting nerfed, since such a little amount of people actually managed to complete it. They are definitely planning to nerf it and make it more accessible to all types of players. That does make me think though, in the September update where Baron is going to come out, you do need up to 1 million power, I believe, to actually go past the red bar and go into the blue, so that would be crazy to think about. I'm sure they'll adjust it, or at least I hope so. Otherwise, there'll only be like 2 people that can potentially complete it if they've spent thousands and thousands of dollars. But anyways, the nerf is interesting, we all kind of expected that, but what I really want to cover here, actually first off, these skills are getting buffed, not every single rune category, but these ones right here, all these versions for these runes are getting buffed. I guess these skills didn't see too much use. The one I am shocked about is right here, multi-strike. This skill does see fair use, at least in my opinion, so I am kind of surprised it's getting a buff, but buffs never hurt. Though this skill right here, I think it's called Blade Toss, I'm surprised they aren't buffing every single version of it. I feel like this is probably the least used skill in the game, I could be wrong, but this is one of the weakest feeling skills. I'll probably never use it unless they really buff it up, but here's the list if you're interested. And also really quick congrats to Ab from the first comment on our last video. Shout outs to you, and thank you for the very nice comment, and also enjoy your very exclusive Discord role. And going to what's actually very important here, this page right here, going over which hunters are getting buffed. Yes, that's right, these hunters are getting buffed. Let's actually go to this page. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 hunters getting buffed. A lot of these are obvious in my opinion. Choi definitely needs a buff, and I guess they can try and go ahead and buff Wu, but really, doesn't matter what they'll do, he'll always be a terrible hunter, let's be honest here. But Choi is the one hunter I'm most interested about, because my Choi is at A9, I'm sure we'll get him to A10 in no time. So if he gets buffed, hopefully, they just add crit damage to his kit. And by crit damage, I mean letting him crit, since Choi cannot do any crits, which is kind of annoying. So I do hope they make that change, but the funny thing is, regardless, Choi is actually one of the strongest hunters we have in terms of raw damage, but there's just something about his kit, he doesn't really feel too enjoyable to play. I always use this word, he kind of feels clunky. His skills are kind of lackluster, you just kind of use them, get him off, you use his ulti, get the resets off, but there's nothing really deep about him. He's kind of just a 1-level hunter. What you see is what you get. There's no tricks to him. So I do hope they make necessary adjustments to his kit, making him a vital hunter to use, and I'm assuming with the guild rates coming out, fire hunters will be the primary damage source we have to use, so I am hopeful Choi is going to get a buff, and we have hunters like Lim, Dongso, and also Wu Jin Fraud. I was disgusted by saying his name. Anyways, these hunters honestly don't see any use at all. Though Dongso does have something useful towards his kit, he can remove shields, but we know that's not useful in the workshop. We have Malin for that. But this bottom row right here is what I'm most interested about. We have both the silver main and also regular version of Yunhu. He definitely does need a bit of love, especially the silver main version. I'm glad I never summoned for him because honestly, he is one of the biggest letdowns we've had in the Rate of Banner, at least in my opinion. I don't think anyone actually does use him. That's why he's getting a buff, Emma included. Emma is a fantastic breaker. She provides buffs to the team as well, but her kit doesn't have enough damage in my opinion. She's fantastic for mobbing, but she's still missing that oomph factor, which I do hope they provide her. Same with Yunhu or Yunho, I just like saying Yunhu. The light version is an amazing breaker, but he doesn't have that damage we need. We know defense scaling is pretty bad in the game, so I do hope they make some nice changes to all these hunters except for Wu. Who cares about Wu? Just demote him to an SR hunter, that would be much preferred. But also Cha. Cha is getting a buff because after release, honestly, her usage went down. She's not really a hunter people use too often, though she does have her specific use cases. But now we have hunters like Alicia who do so much work, AoE, shields, freezes, and overall high damage. So Cha is kind of lacking a lot of that. I'm sure once we get future bosses that do recover HP, Cha will become more useful, but right now, as I mentioned before, she is missing that oomph factor, so I do hope they buff her. That way everyone who did summon for her will definitely get more value. And moving on, they do address the Cha situation here, going over why she isn't being used, why she's a bit weaker than she was on release because of all the new hunters and bosses that are released. But the next thing I do want to go over, actually one more code here, if you did miss it from the previous video, first broadcasting. But moving on, I believe this is about guilds. What I really want to cover here is this. This is interesting. Basically, artifact levels are going to go up. We're going to get additional tiers for my assumption here. So we'll get level 70 and level 75 artifacts for the artifacts we're already used to, making them kind of match up to the new artifacts we got from the workshop building tonight. This is kind of a neat change. I'm curious to see if this will change the meta in any way. Will we sometimes use, let's say, the expert set instead of our new curse sets? We'll have to see what these sets are like, but I do think these artifacts definitely have room in our kit, at least in the future. And looking forward, what else is there? Oh, also, Jinwoo is getting a level cap increase, and there's going to be a new job change. That's going to be very nice. I believe we're going all the way up to level 100. I could be wrong, but that does sound about right. I feel like everyone is slowly capped at level 80, so this is definitely a necessary change. The one thing I'm very excited for is his new ultimate skill. We know Jinwoo's ultimates deal so much damage, so I can only assume how good that ultimate will be. We'll just have to wait and see, but I have very high hopes for it. And going on, what else is there? They kind of did a Q&A here, but I do want to go back to guilds. At least we know for a fact they are trying to meet their deadline of July, which you know for a fact we are actively recruiting for, so do fill out our Google form. You can find it on our Discord server down below in the links. We are basically recruiting for multiple guilds, so don't miss out. You do want a guild on release, that way you don't have to scramble, lose out on rewards, hop between guilds. You never want to do that, so join our Discord server. It'll be your one-stop shop for finding a guild. And as we move on, let me see, is there anything else I want to cover here? We obviously have that new hunter coming out, and I've got to say, her new skin is something else. They really upped the game here. Her skin is going to be one of the first things I purchase on the update. I really can't avoid it. I mean, come on. She's already one of the most fabulous looking hunters, and when it comes to the skin, I don't know what to do. This virus is going to act up in a second. I might have to cut recording short here. Yeah, this is going crazy, folks. But anyways, I am excited for the new hunter. I am going to test them out. I'll try to get them all the way to A5 in our release video. If I get lucky, I don't get too lucky on these Rate of Banner, so hopefully we do. If not, we'll just test it up to maybe like A3, depending on how many summons we get in. But we do have that new weapon as well for Jinwoo, the Fire Bow. Forgot its name, but that's not important. I wonder if this is going to be a meta weapon as well, because like I said, they're bringing in a Fire SSR Hunter, they're providing buffs to Choi, and they're providing us a new weapon that is SSR and that is Fire Elemental, meaning for guild raids, it's a very high likelihood that the bosses will be a Fire Elemental. We have to wait and see, but the odds are certainly great for that happening. And if we skip forward, we have the bow here. We can see exactly what it's like, and it looks very sick. I do love having range weapons. It makes the boss battle so much easier. You can just dodge, deal a ton of damage from the back lines, and I want to see, do we get to view the ultimate? I don't think that was it, was it? That was probably one of the basic attacks. We'll have to see if that was the ultimate. That's pretty cool. And I keep saying ultimate, I mean the main skill. And it does seem to be it for the stream. We have one more code here again. If you haven't used the code, here it is. This code here provides us 10 custom draw tickets, which is very good. This stream was packed with rewards. I'm honestly very surprised. Again, I do hope the stream we're getting in a few hours, that being the English version of this stream, I'm assuming. Hopefully, we get a ton of coupon codes there, because I know for a fact everyone's dying for more rewards. The devs are really pumping out a ton of coupon codes, so props to them. I can't wait to see what the devs have in store for us with these new events coming out. I feel like if we're free to play, we definitely can't complain right now based on how many rewards we're getting on a daily basis. So thank you devs for that. I do appreciate it on behalf of all our free to play players. But yeah, that was it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, drop me a like. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and leave a comment with any thoughts or concerns. This was Zaf signing out. Yes.